Hello everybody, this is the last video in the series, and it's asking everyone to contribute towards the crowdfunding. You know, if people just give $10 each, a one-time payment of only $10, and tell your friends to do the same, for 1,000 people that give $10, that's $10,000 worth to play with, all right? And provided as a loan, so you can see there, when you send the transfer through, in the reference section, just put your name, use a nickname if you want, and then the nation you come from, because we need to know where you're from, so we can say, well, we've got 1 million people, followers over here in the USA, right, or 500,000 New Zealand. That gives us a global indication on how many people support us. So name, email, nation. But we want you also to put in that reference section, say you request for the government to give us the Supreme Court Gardens for the prototype Live Aid Child Safety Centre, all right? And then also after that, say what you think of the government of ScoMo, right? And please do not swear, because they will discount that as a legitimate, it's like a petition sort of thing. So we're using the bank account. We've got an arrangement with the bank that the bank account will remain as a receipt for the money that you pay. So we've got a record there. It's done through a legal entity, and the whole system will be driven by the blockchain ledger technology. So we track where the money comes from, where it goes to, what it's used on, with total transparency. I'm moving out of the company because I've got to go and do the Live Aid concerts. We've got to build 30 10-story high buildings before November. Well, we can do that because we've got rapid building construction technologies, and we spent 2 years on the planning for it. So I'm moving out. I'm going to do that, but while I'm up there, I'm going to be hammering this government and just really trashing them. And also that Channel 7 CEO, Kerry Stokes, and his, telethon. We're going to trash him now because he doesn't support Aboriginal concepts. And the culture within Channel 7 is bad, and we're going to expose it. So there you go. And look, we need, we got a really good deal from these philanthropists from Japan, and one of them found out that he's a friend of our incoming CEO, Fraser Tahoe, and he said to Fraser, listen, really like this vision you fellas got for the children. That's awesome. And these safe nations, zero emission economies. He said, listen, you tell Mick Jagger there that when he reaches 1 million subscribers on our website, we've got to load it up yet, we took it offline. So when he reaches 1 million subscribers at $99 per year, because it's the same as Spotify, $12 a month, and for 12 months, 12 to us, $144, but if you are unemployed on a low income, you can prove it with a healthcare card or something, and then it's free. All right, you don't have to pay for it. Our philanthropists will pay for it. There's a lot of philanthropists coming in behind this project, so they'll pay for your whole yearly subscription, the $99. You see, because if people who are unemployed or on low incomes suddenly don't pay the second month or third month, well, they get cut off the system, so they're not learning anything, not benefiting anything, and not being able to follow us online through our community and get special privileges. And they certainly won't be getting to our concerts unless they're in our online community or performing. So $99 per year per person, paid up front. So he said, well, you get to 1 million subscribers. That's why we want everyone to help us to get to 1 million subscribers and followers. And within 20 minutes, he'll pay the next million. Right? It's $99 million he'll pay within 20 minutes. Now, he's a member of the underworld in Japan, and he got a missing finger, and he says, no, well, I'll pay it within 20 minutes, and he will pay it, right, because in their underworld, they honour their agreements, otherwise they have to kill themselves. So he talked to a couple of friends of his the next day, and they said, well, tell Mick Jagger, we'll match it. So that's 300 million, just under 300 million we'll get if we reach our first million subscribers. We get that for free, right? Because they get paid, they own big corporations here in Australia, and they get taxed here, and they get a second tax if they try to take the money into Japan. But if they give it to a worthy cause like ours, or to the environment, or humanitarian projects, their government in Japan actually pays them for it. So the 99 million that he gives us, he gets paid. So he don't do nothing. So he says, I'm a philanthropist, this is what I do, man. And you see, when the Rothschilds seized my bank accounts through the central bank here in Australia, which is called the Federal Reserve Bank, I just signed a lease on the top of a skyscraper, and it sent me back. I ended up almost bankrupt, and I got my car seized and everything else, assets seized, because I'd signed their lease. And anyway, I accumulated a fair bit of debt, and he paid off about $200,000 with my debt, just like that. And knowing that I was going to get all this money, I said to Fraser, yeah, well, I'll give you the money, you repay our philanthropist. And the philanthropist went back and told me to get lost. And he says, I don't give money to get it back, I give it because I care. So these are the lovely people we've got coming in behind us, folks. Beautiful, wonderful people. So any money that you give us, well, we're saying if anyone gives us anything over $100 or something, just put in that column there, the reference column in the transaction, that you want the loan repaid in 6 months' time, to the date, in 6 months' time, and with 30% interest rate. And so that's pretty cool with us. We don't really care, because the philanthropist will pay it, right? Just like that, piece of cake. And look, this is only 3 of them. Yeah, there's been hundreds of philanthropists around the world that will throw money at this. And you've got to remember, if you check the stats online, for the billionaires out there, right, 65% of the billionaires' greatest passion is philanthropy. And what better thing can you do than to help take these rotten governments out of power through having the numbers to jam all their communication systems and complaints, and also having all the networks we got coming behind us to put them out of power and put in decent governments, dissolve their governments, and then mankind can be looked after in those different nations. So we're sending a very clear message there right from the outset. So as you see, you've got to go and watch our podcasts, also the videos that are on the Notorious Mick Jagger YouTube channel. It's got the what we call the Live Aid Revolution, right? Look at those videos there. The first one with Nick Natanui. Watch what Nick says when he exposes all these sex crimes over in Africa, right? And then follow those ones through, and you'll see what we're doing with our child safety centre down the front of the city. Now, to build that big precinct there in the front of the city in the Supreme Court Gardens, we want you to also put in the transfer there to the money that you send us, a request that the government give us the Supreme Court Gardens for the prototype Live Aid Child Safety Centre, right? It's a big, huge marquee and a whole lot of tents and things for the children to come to as a safe place if they ever become homeless or they need to flee the home for whatever reason. And then also in that reference section, say what you think of the government, okay? But please do not swear or use foul language, because they'll discard that as a research information, as like what do you have, the petitions, right? So our bank's using it as a petition system as well, and a record system for payments. And then we'll use the blockchain, our IT experts will use the blockchain technology to track the transactions, where the money comes from, who it came from, and then where it went to and what it was used for. So it's totally transparent. I put all my profiles online anyway, my Fortune 500 profiles, my Harrison profiles, and my wealth creation profiles with Wealth Dynamics. So, and here we go. And by the way, I am New Zealand's most notorious gangster, but I do not have a criminal record in New Zealand or in Australia, because the ones I had in New Zealand got wiped when I joined the Royal New Zealand Air Force. That's what they did, they wiped them, the judge did. So, and they were very serious offences, but that's another story. So, look, this is what we've got. We need to set up the child safety centres. We need marquees. We need the big, huge one that you'll see in those, I think it's Live Aid Revolution video 6. It shows all the marquees that we need to put up down the front of the city in Supreme Court Gardens. There's 3 marquees. There's the big, massive one. And then we have the one for the school, because when the children are home, so we'll put them straight into the school. The big marquee will have all the camp stretchers and things, mattresses and thin mattresses for the camp stretchers, and then the pillows, but they've got to be folded up during the day and all the area cleared inside that big marquee so they can play and socialise. There'll be all couches and things to relax on, and entertainment there for the children. But we get them straight back into the school, and that's one of the other marquees, is the school for the children. And we're using VR, AR technologies in there to educate the children in their own languages, because our VR headsets have got a computer in, so the translators just translate into their native language for the children to learn, and the children can learn at their own way, at their own timing. So that's what's necessary. The school, get them to school because they make new friends straight away, the second day they come in. They got friends to play with. And there's a play area outside, there's a play area inside as well. And there's also a creche inside the third marquee, which is the dining centre, okay? So, and that one, we have also the creche in it. And there'll be all plants and beautiful artwork on the walls, off the walls, carvings, these sort of things, indigenous art. Oh, and other people's art. It doesn't really matter. If people want to contribute art, it'll be fine. Or lend it is the way to go, or lease it. So we need also 10 tents for the charities, the different charities that will be there, from World Vision, these other charities here we have here in Perth that will provide. Some will provide clothing for the children, others provide footwear. They'll be linked into the local shops in Perth that will provide free shoes. Shoes are very important to the young ones, so we'll take them up and get some brand new shoes on the house by the companies, and the hip hop clothing for a lot of them that love the hip hop. Right. So also we need to put in there the motion machines. VR motion machines with the Birdman, they're flying, and also the parachute one, because the VR motion machines will snap them out of a suicidal or depressed state straight away. That's why we have them. Also the health spa rejuvenation centre with the flotation pod. The flotation pod's fairly expensive, but it is necessary for our for the parents, to de-stress the parents straight away. Now I'm just going to take a second out and grab it. Okay, I'm back. Now what we're putting in there, right, I see there, as you see this very well, right, spa pool. Put a spa pool in. That's the aroma steam rehydration unit. She's bouncing up and down on a lymphocyzer, which helps to move the lymphatic system and detox. But in the actual tent there, we have music going so they can hear the music. And there's a big pot with boiling water and the steam, and there's a bowl on the top there, and this netting thing, and then all these aromatherapy oils and sage and all these natural plants are put into the water, and it goes up into the air. And while you're in this, it's virtually a steam room, and it's much more enjoyable. And all the aroma steam rehydration is happening. You're drinking lots of water while you're in there, detoxing, and the skin's being cleansed by the aroma steam rehydration, the oils right in the air. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. So, and then we've got some rooms we'll be setting up for different massages. That's Huna massage, they use their hands and also the forearms. It's magnificent. There'll be shiatsu. There'll be also Chinese qigong, Vietnamese massage, Swedish massage, different ones. These are for the parents and for the children. And then we have the Vibrasawn, this one here I used to have. I donated it to our Aussie charity. And you see that person here got their head outside the chamber and the cold air blowing onto them. It's ionised air, it balances out the ions in the body. and they got nice music going. Down the side, it's got the we can put the CD in and play the music. Inside, those gauges there at the top are adjustable from inside, and that adjusts the. Yeah, look at this side. Right there, it is there. See, the chamber lifts up, and she's lying on a bed, and the bed vibrates. It's got different motors underneath, and gives all different vibrations and massage systems. So when you close the pod down, the chamber is there, and we heat the chamber up like a sauna. So, but your head's out, and you've got cool air blowing on your face. Whereas in a sauna, it's horrible. You can't breathe. Right, so that's the Vibrasauna. They're 10 grand. This is a flotation pod, so parents can be pretty stressed if she's been bashed up, and because the husband come down on meth, she's had to flee with the children. We stick her in the flotation pod. The lid doesn't close; it stays open, and she's totally relaxed. Goes into another world, and it just de-stresses. Also, the chemicals in the water draw out any toxins in her body. It's very effective. We use it for rehabilitating drug addicts. Right, to get the toxins out of the body real fast. Spa pool for people to relax. All right, so these will be all down there. Isn't that wonderful? And that's, you see, because if the parents are stressed, and different massage there, if the parents are stressed, it's not going to help the children, and we're here for the children, all right, at the end of the day. That's what you've got to remember. We're here for the children. It's not about us, So it's going to cost a lot of money. In that diagram we showed a helipad. We need the helicopter, because if we've got to rescue the children that are in danger and there's a gridlock on the freeway, we can't get through, we just use the helicopter. Helicopter is straight out the nearest park, and then we get the child in there. But we're